From the city-states of Eorzea to the distant land of Tyrol and all of Atheris via the magic of podcasting, this is episode 70 of A Podcast Reborn, a show celebrating our journey in the past, present, and possible future of Final Fantasy XIV. This episode is being recorded on Sunday, July 13th of 2025. Following podcast may contain mature language and spoilers. As always, you have been warned. My name is Brian Black, otherwise known as Ro, and due to cost, I don't have anything witty to say this time. We'll try again in episode 71. Please look forward to it. With me, as always, are my two wonderful co-hosts. First off, we have our blogger, machinist, D&D fan, and a man who enjoys something called K-pop Demon Hunters? What the fuck? Who are you and what have you done with Brandon?
Hey, I dislike anime, not K-pop, alright? There's a difference. Also, go watch that movie. It's really freaking good. Also, let it be known that it is now episode 70, which is however many weeks later after you recorded episode 69, and neither me nor my D&D character are dead at Ro's hand like he promised.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not what you're here for. You know what you're here for. Guys, I gotta tell you, since the last episode, I got obsessed with farming the Starbird minion, and I'm having the worst fucking luck. I keep thinking the next one is the one for sure, and just putting off essential tasks. Do you know how much my hair has grown in that time? I really need to trim my dead ends.
There's a lot of setup.
Hey, you know what?
It was.
The longer this show goes on, the more setup I'm going to need, and you're just going to have to accept that.
Eventually, episode 100 is just going to be one dad joke, and then we're out.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm running out of material, guys. What do you want from me?
Also, with us, we have our resident Chaos Gremlin, Savage Raider, webcomic creator, and a cat mom who uses a headlamp to crochet hide.
Yeah. Well, okay. So Ward took me up to his family cabin in the woods that has no electricity. And of
That's
course,
not the setup for a horror movie.
I know, right? Luckily, not a single demon. Only frogs, which was great because they were very cute. But Ward didn't have to.
Frogs? That's that weird website, right? With
Yep.
all the hot amphibian action.
You
Like
beat
great
me to it.
Ward had to shoo one out of our bathroom, which was very funny.
Oh
And
my!
then one tried to commit suicide later when we were trying to. They have like a water pump that's like a motor run, so we're trying to like start up the motor, and the frog jumped into the motor, and we're like, well, I don't want frog puree in our water, so we're not going to do that. But anyway, there's no electricity, and we didn't even bring up a single flashlight, but luckily Ward's sister gifted us a couple of headlamps, so like I'm sitting in a cabin in the woods in a rocking chair, rocking, doing crochet while I have a headlamp on, and I'm like where it's like, what are you doing? I was like blinding him like a little fucking goblin. Like, I'm doing my crafts. I'm creating my wares.
I feel like there should have been a picture of this, even if it wasn't of your face, but you from like behind, just walking back in a chair wearing a headlamp on, and you kind of see from a quarter perspective you doing crochet.
I have one question, Megan. Did you take either or both of the cats with you?
No, neither. Absolutely not. They are not wild creatures. They are the most pampered indoor cats that I've ever catted. Butterscotch especially. She won't go in our kitchen. You think I'm going to take her to a cabin in the woods? Absolutely not.
Well, that's good because you were one cat away from being mistaken for a creepy forest witch.
No, goals. I would love to move to a cabin in the woods and have my cats be indoor cats there because I'm not letting them outside. There are bears out there. Literally the whole time we're there, they're like, there's no bears, don't worry about it. And then they're like, oh yeah, over the winter, a bear tried to get into the cabin. It's like, oh Jesus.
What's his name? Halson.
It's fine. Oh, what?
Was his name Halson?
Oh, God. I'm still undecided on Halson. I'm still undecided on if he did the pig.
I'm leaning toward he did not do the pig.
I wish I could just like straight up ask him in game, just be like, Halson, what the fuck with the pig? What is that? What the fuck?
Literally.
Oh, yeah. Did fuck. What? Did fuck? Did fuck what? Question mark?
Y'all gotta
Anyway.
stop. I'm gonna cough myself to death. Wow.
Okay, so full disclosure, there's very little preparation I've done for this episode. There's actually not a whole lot of preparation I do for most of our episodes, which is why they're as chaotic as they are, but I embrace the chaos. That being said, there are a couple of things that I do want to bring up just up at the top. I am aware that there has been a lot of talk amongst content creators about the state of Final Fantasy XIV. And a lot of it hasn't been that great. And I've heard a lot of criticism being tossed about in the aftermath of the latest live letter in regards to the joke I made at the top about cost and forked tower and development and Square Enix making $2 billion and yet they can't do a normal and a Savage forked tower. And what's up with that? I don't know if I have too much of an opinion that's going to be vastly different from what you've heard from other people. I find it interesting that was something that they said during the live letter. I find it interesting how apologetic they were trying to be. And at the same time, here's my hot take about that whole thing from the live letter. This is why we need, even on the minor live letters, I'm sorry, I know it would make the live letter longer, but even if they even if they do an official live letter literally an hour or two later and have an English translation from a Square Enix translator, they do these for like the major launch ones, but for minor patches, live letters, they don't do translations. And when it comes to the whole thing about cost and fork tower, they're not talking, I am pretty confident they're not talking about money. They're probably more talking about time and resources. That being said, if we had an actual legit official translation, I feel that while it may have not quelled all of the hubbub and flames and torches and pitchforks, because this is the internet, it's going to be like that anyhow. I think that if we had an official translation right away, that a lot of this stuff that people have been talking about lately wouldn't be that big a deal. I don't know how much you two have heard about this whole thing, but I'm curious as to your thoughts if you have any.
I don't engage with Final Fantasy content that much. The games that I watch budget content for is The Sims. So we just got an expansion pack with fairies in it, so that's what I've been obsessing over recently. I don't know. I'm in my lane. I'm good. I'm moisturized. I'm vibing. I'm living my peace. I don't know about all this pitchfork stuff. I'm guessing everybody's mad at the state of the game and just say Final Fantasy XIV is a dead game because it happens every time.
And people are unhappy. Oh no.
Yeah. What else is freaking new? I'm gonna be honest. I did not pay attention to the section of the live letter that involved the field operations zone whatsoever. Because I haven't set foot in there. I don't have any real great desire to set foot in there, especially since we can't use it to level, which was the only reason I engaged with Bajan's Southern Front in the first place, was to break up the monotony of doing roulettes and freaking Beast Tribe dailies to level up alternate jobs.
I have not been big on it either.
It's like, I never saw the complete story to Baja because I couldn't ever be bothered to deal with that grind. I don't like grindy content. I never have. I never will. It's not for me. So if someone's upset about what the hell's up with the raid inside there, I'm going to be honest. You guys do you. I don't give a shit.
I have not gotten to it yet. I have not been trying to get to it.
So that interests me because, I mean, so obviously me and been playing a lot of Sims and probably some other things as well, and we can get into that stuff too a bit later if you want. Brandon, really quick before I toss my next question, on how much time in 14 are you averaging?
I'm usually in there at least an hour a day, if nothing else. Just to do like the battle tribe dailies, just to passively level whatever my next job du jour is, and I'm actually running out of them. I just need to level Pictomancer up to get the next. Here's the title you get for leveling all the magic jobs, which I arbitrarily decided during Endwalker to go after, and now I'm just trying to keep it up because it was a thing I did last expansion. Why not? Yeah, I'm in there at least a little bit. If I don't feel like playing another game, I'll queue up for some roulettes, or I'll swap. Wow, I cannot talk. I will swap over to one of my alts and start leveling them through the MSQ. But yeah, I'm still in there. I'm still playing at least once a day. Maybe 15 minutes, maybe it's an hour. Who knows?
Okay, so I pretty much have the answer for the question I was going to ask from you already. I guess what I have to ask you, Megan, is right now, presently, are you active with the game? And if you're not, what is it that's missing that you're waiting for?
Right now I am semi-active with the game. We're trying to get some little tombstones and get some fun stuff.
Sure.
Especially on our RP alts, because there's like some hairstyles and some emotes and things that are very hard to get otherwise. And I don't know. I think what I'm missing is just like a raid team. Like me and Ward, we left with our raid team, stopped raiding, but we didn't stop hanging out with them. We still either watch a movie or play some other group video game like once or twice a week with them. So we still have that like social gaming bond, but we're not doing it. We're not doing it even through an MMO. We've been playing Repo, which is really fun.
Oh, that game looks amazing.
Oh my god, Repo is so fucking funny because you're like I love proximity chat because there's nothing funnier than like being a little robot guy and then hearing as another little robot guy is like yanked past you. Oh my god. And they even do things where like if they have like a haunted mask and if it gets on your face then your voice gets all low and creepy. And it sounds hilarious. But yeah, we've been playing Repo, we've been playing we found a game where we're basically doing a court case, but we're all ducks. I think it's like Duck Duck Goose, maybe. But it's literally like we all just argue cases, and then there's also a judge who gets to like decide. So we're all just fucking around. There's no real rules on that one. But then we've also been playing oh god, we played Pico Park. I do not like platformers, so now every time that they're like, oh, Megan's late, let's play Pico Park, so she has to play when she gets here. I'm like, no, I don't wanna. I hate it. But yeah, and I've also fallen out of love with Infinity Nikki. So
wow, really? Why is that?
They rebooted the entire universe.
Oh,
The lore, they like made a whole new starting zone, and it's different than what we had in the beginning, and like it got really weird. And then they started adding like extra pieces into the outfit so that you had to pull even more to get a complete outfit, and like a bunch of other shady stuff. And
yeah,
so
I've heard there with. It's funny because I bumped into a random YouTube video talking about the fall of Infinity Nikki, and I remember like about 10 minutes of it. I guess that they made some promises about some things and didn't follow through on them, and the community is like, "What the hell?"
yeah, and they just I don't know. It got much more predatory really fast, and then it suddenly felt like, oh, we were in like the honeymoon phase where you butter us up and get us to be loyal, and now you're in the fuck you give me money phase. And I don't think I'm very into the fuck you give me money phase. But yeah.
That's literally the entire state of the world right now. No, thank you.
It's funny that you bring up Infinity Nikki because there's a game I've been playing a lot more than Final Fantasy XIV. I have been logging into 14. but I have. I guess technically you could call Hearthstone a gacha game in a way. In a way, but that's not the game. The game I've been playing has been Persona 5 The Phantom X, which is a gacha Persona 5 spin.
Oh my god, they gotcha.
Here's the thing. I have spent a total of $9.99, and that was basically for their battle pass thingamabob that pretty much all gachas have that like help you get some of the currency a bit faster and such like that. I haven't paid any other transactions for like extra spins or bonuses or stuff like that. That being said, I've been playing the fuck out of this game, and I'm only missing 2 available characters from it right now. So, as far as being free to play friendly, I mean, like technically, I did spend $10, but most gacha games, if you've only spent $10, you're pretty much free to play. For having only spent $10, I'm having pretty fun time and got my money worth. But again, this thing did just come out like 2 weeks ago, so it is in that honeymoon phase. And you talk about the fuck you give me money phase. I'm just kind of like, all right, when's the other shoe dropping? When am I going to stop having fun? So I feel like it's not a matter of if, but when.
Yeah. Oh man, I haven't fallen for it yet, but I'm constantly getting targeted with the freaking horse girl game.
Oh, Uma Sume? Something like that. I've seen a lot of that on YouTube also.
I've only seen YouTubers play that, and I'm like, are you serious right now?
It's freaking huge. It's like one of Steam's best-selling freaking game, most popular free-to-play games right now.
I do not understand that at all.
Apparently, it had a really good anime. I have not watched it because it is on High Dive and we are on Crunchyroll right now. We don't pay for 2 anime-only subscriptions at the same time in this house, apparently.
Anime fragmentation!
Yeah.
So, Uma Musume Pretty Derby, as far as a free-to-play game, is doing better than The Sims 4 and World of Warships and VR Chat. And the new game Mecha Break, which I also installed and booted up and played for just 5 or 10 minutes just because the character. Okay, Mecha Break, it's a mecha game, okay? It is a mecha action game. But if you are a complete degenerate, I will admit I have a bit of a degenerate streak in me. I'm sorry.
No.
Install the game, just go into character creation and just have fun for about an hour and then you're done. You can make the wildest, craziest characters in that thing, and there's sliders for everything. That's all I'm going to say. There's a slider for it. If you can think of it, there's a slider for it. Yes, there's yes, especially those. Yes, there are sliders for them, and those, and also those. Yes,
big eyes.
Great
small
big
mouth.
eye sliders. Yes. Yeah, and then after I played with the character creator, I uninstalled it because I'm like, okay, so that's how they hook you with boobs and thigh and butt sliders, and then they try to get you playing, and then hey, it's just a mecha game. Okay, I'm done. But yeah, I've been playing just a lot of different things, and I'm playing some Final Fantasy, but I thought I'd be playing a lot of Occult Crescent still, and I'm not. And there's still 3 Phantom jobs I can unlock, but they require getting the gold currency, which means finding a gold farming group. And that grind is not really my jam.
Yeah.
And what I've kind of realized is that Occult Crescent's not bad, but it has, I don't know. It doesn't have. It's.
It feels too insular. That's my problem.
Yeah. It to me it feels like is there's something, for lack of a better word, it lacks the soul of Baja and Eureka, and it's not something I can easily quantify in words.
The thing with Baja is that you were working towards your weapon, and you could level classes, and so there was there was reasons to do Baja other than just I like Baja and I want to do more Baja.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in Occult Crescent. It's like, we're doing Occult Crescent to do more Occult Crescent. It's like, oh, okay.
I really wonder why they made the decision to not allow leveling other classes, other jobs.
Don't know. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. That was, I agree with Brandon. That was like the number one selling point of Baja, and it also like let you learn the class as you're leveling up and everything. But it was a really nice way to do it, like, and especially if you're doing a DPS and you don't get those instant cues. And like, also Baja felt just more energetic, I guess. I don't know. It was like there was always an event going on, and it was like run here and then run there and then do this stuff. I don't know. Like,
the progression was a little bit more gated too. It's like each area, you kind of made progress from one area to another, where with this, it's like, yes, obviously there are areas where there's more difficult creatures than others, but if you know how to ride on your mount correctly, you can go into very dangerous zones as a relatively low level, at least as far as like the area goes, a low level character, and still go hunt treasure chests and all that stuff. So it's the openness is a two-edged sword. It's a great thing in that you can get to everything right away, but then that takes away some of the thrill and the excitement of discovering those areas and unlocking those areas for later.
Yeah. And it's like, it's hard to point to like one big overarching thing. It's just like, it don't feel as good. It doesn't do the goblin goo.
No.
But then again, I was not that into Baja. Like, I liked it for mindless grinding, but I prefer to mindlessly grind a job.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah. Than to just be like mindlessly grinding points to buy more things to mindlessly grind. I'm like, and who knows? Maybe the grade's great, but I haven't made it there yet.
Yeah.
And I don't really plan to. That's the other thing of like, so the other thing that me and Ward have been doing, have you guys heard of Turtle WoW?
Turtle WoW?
Yes. It is a private classic server in which you play. They have all these different challenges, like hardcore, obviously, but they have another one where it's like you get reduced experience, and they call it Turtle WoW because it's literally like all about doing a slow grind to level, and it's like the old experience like that. But they have all of these original quests that they put in. They've also put in high elves on the Alliance and goblins on the Horde. So in like classic, and they made whole starting zones for them. They've made their own dungeons. They've added onto the dungeons that already exist, and it's like I get to scratch that old classic itch without, maybe giving money to the breast milk drinking company.
So it's a fan made classic plus, and then and it's free, relatively deep cut to. Yeah, I bet a lot of people have forgotten about the breast milk drinking.
I can never forget, and now neither could you. God damn it.
I have one question about this. Are you required to be part of the super slow grind?
No. Well, it's classic, so it's slow no matter what you do.
Yeah.
But you can, if you turn on the challenges every time that you get, like we just hit level 10 on our Priest and Paladin pair, and so we got a like gift package that included like a really big bag, and the currency for their cosmetic shop, which you can spend real money in. That's like the way that they support themselves. But by doing the challenges, you get it for free. And they also added like they have like a bunch of like their own shit added onto like professions and stuff. Like leather makers can make tents that give you like double experience. Or double rested XP or some. It's like all this extra stuff that like it's like it is very classic and like all the classes are pretty much like the combat stuff is all pretty much the same, but then they've like done all this extra stuff around on the sides, and especially with the lore and the story and like adding more dungeons and adding more quests and stuff. And I'm enjoying the hell out of it as much as I enjoy anything, although it is very like you have. I feel almost like if you're not nostalgic for it, you probably won't like it. Like MMOs have moved on a lot.
Yeah.
The biggest one is definitely the traveling, and I was telling Ward about it while we were playing because we're high elves. We have to get on a boat to go to Darnassus, and then get on a boat from there to Stormwind, and it's like we have to like walk across a pier and we have to wait for the boat and all this stuff. And I'm like, this makes the world feel really big, but it's really annoying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but like part of that is like the nostalgic itch for me. I'm like remembering when I was, in high school being like, whoa, it's like a whole world. Look how big it is. And so I do tap into some of those feelings, but I feel like, yeah, if you're coming from like Final Fantasy where it's just like, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to teleport back to the quest giver. This is going to, grind your gears a little.
Yeah. I played that. I played Classic when it was, just retail. I've never understood the desire for like, the nostalgia Classic servers or even any of the private ones that go back to it. It's cool that they've added more content on, I suppose, but that I don't think that's enough to make me want to go.
Well,
yeah,
you don't like
let's revisit
grinding.
That. I don't. You're absolutely correct.
See,
I don't know how I survived Classic.
We have Ward especially really loves the Skinner box of the, go out, kill 5 Quillboars and come back. Turn it in. It does. It's like, it hit me right at the time when my fucking frontal lobe was developing. And so now I'm like, yes, golden question marks make me happy.
Really, really tempted for episode title to be Ward Likes Grinding, but
I mean,
really tempted.
He's a grinder.
One thing I do have to ask though, so you mentioned Darnassus. Do they have people developing content for Darnassus in this? Like new content and stuff?
I don't know because I haven't played through that. Ward would be the one to ask, but it seems like they've made
The reason why I ask is because I thought they were all fired.
Oh my god. No, sir. We're redoing the lore. We're making it better with blackjack and hookers.
Okay.
Oh man.
Sorry.
That's fantastic.
I had to.
Okay.
I could not resist.
The other thing that we noticed while we're like running around is that in world chat, people are constantly recruiting for raids. And so we're like, oh my god, we could raid in this game. And I'm like, I would actually rather raid in here than in Final Fantasy. Like, oh no. But also, I think Blizzard might finally get me when Pandaria comes out because that was when Discipline Priest was fucking peak.
But is Blizzard okay? Does more and more info about housing is being revealed and stuff? Do you think that could pull you into Midnight?
I don't think so because it looks so like chunky and gross. I don't know how else to describe it. It's not my bag, baby, especially coming from Final Fantasy where like all of the furniture is like so delicate and well modeled and beautiful and like
gotcha art style.
It looks like an apartment, like a house that I would actually want to live in, like and the tools are so cool that like I can maybe you gotta go outside of some things to really customize it. But even just fucking around in game, I've made houses that I'm like, this is fantastic. I would live here. And also, I will always love like cute little cottage aesthetic over the beer hall aesthetic, fantasy tavern aesthetic. Also, what the fuck is the Horde having? Because all I've seen is stuff that looks like it belongs in Stormwind. And so I'm like, please tell me the Horde is not just like tents and like horns and like pointy shit. Come on, guys.
I will say that I am, even if I don't really get back into WoW when Midnight comes out because of this housing stuff, I am glad they're finally doing it because especially considering as much as they are trying to throw down that, like, hey, we can do housing better than you, essentially, without saying it out loud. I am hoping that this inspires the 14 team to be more generous in what players can do with housing without the use of mods.
Yeah, also just more houses. I really think everybody should have a house. I think I understand the Japanese mindset is very FOMO and very like, I got the exclusive item and you didn't get it. Like, that's a huge part of Japanese fan culture and like gaming culture, and just, any sort of like merchandise or item based, anything. It's like they're very like limited supply to drive up demand is like the big thing.
Status symbol with it.
Capsule machines. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, it's lotteries, it's like chance, but it's also like limited supply. You have to either pay out big money to like buy it on the secondhand market, or you have to get lucky, or you have to like prove your dedication by, buying out the whole freaking capsule thing. And like, but I always thought that's really dumb when it comes to digital goods. And I don't even think that I really don't think that it would be that much of a strain on Square to just make more housing area, or just like have it be a little instance. Like I love the Blizzard idea of like having a neighborhood for your guild. Like that sounds great. I would love that. But I love the aesthetic and the furniture and the look and everything so much more in Final Fantasy. It's just that, I don't know, I guess the neighborhoods themselves are so much better in Final Fantasy of like, oh, would you like to live in like a charming castle or an enchanted glade? Or like, would you like to live in Japan? Like, yeah. Or would you like to live in Goldshire 2.0? Like, oh no. Look, we already know what people are going to use these houses for. You don't need to rub it in that hard.
Wow.
I know it.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Phrasing.
But that's what they do in Final Fantasy also. But we get to pretend that that's not what they do, because they also are like, you can make
not everyone,
a
but
cafe. Yes. They're so often like, please guys, please role play a restaurant or a flower shop or a jewel crafting blade. Please do anything but a fucking brothel. Anything. Look, we're making you props. We're making you props for your cute coffee shop AU, okay? Please do that. Please stop. Don't fuck in the coffee shop.
And then people do the coffee shop and do all the cute stuff, but say, oh, and also hookers.
Yeah, also the extra menu. Winky, winky.
Yeah, the special menu. Yeah.
We're going to make our own coffee shop with hookers.
Blackjack and hookers. Coffee upstairs, blackjack downstairs.
Wow.
I want to make a joke about the old Grand Theft Auto hot coffee mod, but I think it's too obvious.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's the code word, but unfortunately everybody orders hot coffee, so there's a lot of confused people who just want to do coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you wanted hot coffee. Like, yeah, coffee comes hot. What are you talking about? Iced coffee means gay.
Wow.
Sorry. I'm not using that for the title.
I mean, I could just title it hot coffee and we're just done with that, and people can just figure it out later.
Ooh.
All right, it's going to be called hot coffee. Now you know why the episode's called hot coffee. All right. But yeah, I guess really that was the main thing I had. The only, as far as like just talking about kind of state of the game stuff goes, the only other thing which kind of goes along with this, and it's been brought up a bit since, me and you're playing other stuff. I'm mostly playing other stuff. I'm in that space right now where work sucks. I've been working 6 days a week. I don't have a whole lot of free time. And when I have free time, I want to be doing mostly other things than Final Fantasy XIV. And I wouldn't say it's weird because I would be a lot more worried, concerned, whatever, if this was me 10 years ago and the game was World of Warcraft. But I guess I've MMO'd so much that for me, this is kind of like been there, done that. I'm not upset that there's nothing I really want to do right now, or that there's other things I want to do. I guess more I'm just in a place of, well, wonder what the next thing's going to be like. And fortunately, that's only like 3 weeks away. Mhm.
True.
There's another live letter that happens in about 2 weeks. Our next episode probably won't be until like a week after the patch has been out. I could ask the question of what are you guys looking forward to, but I will simply say I think for Brandon it's story stuff, and since it's a 0.3 patch, it would be the Final Fantasy XI raid for me. It'd be the Alliance raid for me, and story stuff also. There's no new tier of the 8-player raids and such. Megan, is there anything that has you interested for the next patch? I know they're doing some new PvP stuff.
Yeah, I'll check out the PvP stuff. I've always enjoyed PvP, but I've always enjoyed it like really casually. I really like Crystal Conflict is my favorite because I love how snappy and fast it is, and you can just get in, do a few things, and get out. I really do not like the giant battles because I always feel like I'm just so useless and I can't make any change, and you just kind of, it's luck of the draw whether your group knows what the fuck is happening or not.
It depends on honestly, it depends on communication. If on like those Rival Wings things or the big large
Rival Wings,
if they have,
is okay because you can make a difference if you just get in the fucking robot.
Yeah. I mean, if someone's calling out like where things are happening or who to target or where to go, if someone's marking people, then that makes all the difference in the world in those large scale ones.
So it's not gonna be me, so
guess what? Not gonna be me.
Oh, I wanted to say, right now there is a sale on Steam for the whole Final Fantasy franchise, and I think Final Fantasy IX is what I was looking at. It's like $6.
I bought it today.
So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna buy it, and I'm like, I should play this because like that's what that's what this thing is all talking about. So I can be like, I get that reference.
The 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy IX was just about a week ago, and everyone was hyped that is this finally going to be the announcement of the Final Fantasy IX remake, because it was something that was teased on a big NVIDIA leak that happened years ago, and a lot of other things like even Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster that got announced, that was on the leak. And everyone's been expecting a Final Fantasy IX remake announcement, and right on the anniversary of Final Fantasy IX, the 25th anniversary, news came out from a relatively reliable inside source that any plans for a remake are either canceled or severely delayed, and people are like, "Wah," because they've been hyping the 25th anniversary so much, and people got their expectations up pretty high, and now it's like, "Yep, happy anniversary, guys." But here's the thing: like, I don't pay a lot of attention, but it feels like when it comes to, at least this is my perspective, so I may be very, very wrong on this, but it has not been unusual for me to see Japanese game companies, it's not just Square Enix, but even Atlas and some other game companies, they really celebrate their game franchises, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be like they have a new game announcement. Sometimes they just make a big deal about an anniversary, even if there's no new content, and they use those anniversaries to just talk about the love of the game, and they also use it as an opportunity to, more merch and fan merchandise and stuff like that. So I think I mean, I don't know how it is for people living in Japan and stuff like that, but I just think that for a lot of us overseas that we're seeing all this hype for the thing, we're thinking, well, obviously this means a remake is coming, and this leaks from this reliable person, such like that. But I don't know. This isn't unusual for there to be so much hype about a thing and then nothing happened. I mean, hell, Persona had a whole bunch of different anniversaries for different things, and they weren't on the same year that a remake was announced for the thing. And then the remakes happened like 3 or 4 years later. So I don't know. I'm rambling. Basically, when it comes to all this stuff, temper your expectations with game announcements, especially in this day and age when development teams are getting slashed to pieces by corporate entities that don't know what they're doing. But that's just me. Hi, Microsoft. How you doing? Please don't destroy my computer.
Oh, God. That fucking the Windows update is looming over all of us.
These fuckers took WordPad away from me. I will never forgive them.
Clippy, where are you? They took WordPad away from you? Is that locked behind a subscription now?
No, they just removed it from the latest, I don't know if it's like the major patch for Windows 11 or what, but I went to open it up because I use it as like just kind of a sticky note software where it's like, okay, I need to paste this information here and then, go do something with it later. Because, Notepad, just the style of it just annoys the crap out of me. And I went to, look it up because I don't have it like, on my toolbar or anything. And it was gone. So I'm like, what the heck just happened? And apparently some patch or other recently just quietly removed it.
Oh, this is locked behind a subscription now. I literally just tried to open up Word, and I've been able to open up Word before and have no problem.
Yeah, I don't have Microsoft Office. I just have like the little free, very pared down word processor, WordPad, that's been on, Windows PCs as far back as I can remember. And I went to crack it open just to like, quickly throw some text that I needed to save and, reference later, and it's gone.
Huh.
And I was so freaking irritated.
Oh, fuck.
That's
See,
weird.
this is why I do everything in Google Docs.
Yeah, that's what I had to swap to. I don't normally like, pulling Google Docs up and just creating a new entire document file in there, because then I have to go back in and delete it off there later. Normally I can just, pull up WordPad, paste things, reference them later, then close it. And it's like, do you want to save? Nope. Okay, bye. I'm staring at my webcam. If you're watching, boop.
Okay.
I still have Notepad.
Yeah, Notepad.
I have Notepad.
Notepad's still there. I always preferred WordPad because, Notepad is just like, it'll all, run on a single line if you don't put in line breaks. WordPad would at least try to format it like on, in an actual printable format.
Gotcha. Okay, so WordPad is different from Notepad and different from Microsoft Word. It's something in between. Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's where I got confused. All right. I don't think I've ever used WordPad. I've always used either Notepad or Word, one or the other. All right. Is there anything else going on gaming-wise or life-wise that either of you want to talk about? I mean, Brandon, if you want to talk about K-pop Demon Hunters, I mean, Megan talks about stuff all the time. Well, okay, hold on. One second, Megan. I saw the trailer for K-pop Demon Hunters, and no, it is not anime, but you've got to admit it's about 1 or 2 steps away from being anime.
I really do not gel with that 3D over-exaggerated. I don't know. It's just, it feels cringy to me. I don't know how else to describe it. Like the over-exaggerated facial expressions and like,
you mean like they do in anime?
They're hand drawn, and so they've got some charm to them that you don't gotta warp and pull this 3D blob around like that. And like seeing them like fucking deep throat a sushi roll is just like, oh, thank you, thank you, I'm good, thank you. I don't know. I don't hate 3D animation, and in fact, I recently watched the Trigun Stampede, which is all 3D.
Oh.
And I liked that one. I do not like it anywhere near as much as the original Trigun anime. I don't know if you've seen that.
Years and years ago.
I'd say original Trigun is like 9 out of 10. This one is like a 6. It's fine. And I think that a lot of the charm was lost by moving to 3D. Like it lost a lot of the silliness. And also I would say that the original Trigun is like all about the characters, and especially like interesting side characters and like learning about this world through these kind of episodic adventures that they have. And then the Trigun Stampede is like all of the sci-fi elements that were kind of drip fed to you, or like were kind of like mystery boxes that we figured out through the show. They just front load it all. And like, yeah, there's some really cool action sequences, and this means that we get to see some really neat 3D animation, but I really preferred the original anime's take on it. And while 3D Vash is a grade A cutie, he doesn't have the silly. He only has the sad boy. He doesn't have the silliness that's trying to hide the sad boy. And like, that's what made Vash so appealing as such a good character, was that when you first meet him, you think he's a fucking idiot. And he's a total goober. But then you realize that actually he's a super badass, and he's using this goober persona to like cover that up and hide it, and like try to win people's trust and friendship without them, trying to rely on him or trying to hurt him or hunt him or whatever. And like the like, hello, I'm a silly goober, and then like you learn his super tragic backstory, and you figure out that actually all of these things that you thought were like mistakes and him tripping and falling and like accidentally doing stuff, no, he was doing that all on purpose. Like he has like a super brain that can calculate like bullet trajectories and all this shit. I like, whoa, but that was like really cool. Sorry, spoilers for like a 30-year-old show with fucking, it was great. Watch it. Anyway, the new one is fine, but it's like all sad boy Vash. There's a little bit of the goofiness, but nowhere near as much as it needed to be the charm that it originally had. And there's just like these anime moments in the original where like, so Vash wears like a full body coat in both series. Like he wears like, neck to toes, totally covered. In the new show, at some point they like, I don't know, they end up like jumping in a river, and so he's like taking off his shirt, and somebody's like, wow, his body's covered in scars. And they're like, wow, you've had a hard life. And he's just like looking off, he's like, yeah. And then in the original, Meryl like walks in on Vash changing, and he goes and like covers himself like, oh no! And she's like, oh my god. I like, that was just like so much funnier, and like he's clearly diffusing the situation with humor, and he doesn't want her to point it out that he's covered in scars. And like, that's just such a more interesting character, and a more endearing character, in my opinion.
But it's the present, and everything has to be edgy and dark.
Look, I love stupid edgy shit. All right, like 1000%. Give me the edgy bullshit. But I love edgy bullshit while somebody is actively resisting the edgy bullshit. That's actually one of the things that I really like about Demon Slayer, is that the main character is like, yeah, this is a fucked up edgy world, but I'm still going to be a friendship-pilled shonen protagonist, and you can't stop me from hoping and believing. And I'm like, you know what? Based.
So let me ask you this.
Mm.
If K-pop Demon Hunters
oh god
was drawn animated and not 3D, would you watch it?
I don't know. I'd have to see it. I have to see like some clips, see if it appealed to me or not. I'm not interested in K-pop really at all. Like a little bit. Like
neither am I, but I love
this. Brandon is, yeah.
I hear songs sometimes, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty nice, I guess. But for me personally, I'm I love singing. So if I can't sing along and I don't understand the lyrics, I'm kind of like, all right, cool. It's
all right.
It's nice noise.
Two things on that front. I agree with you on if I can't sing along with it, I get kind of annoyed. Probably 80% of the lyrics of every song in this film are in English. Like there's maybe like a line or two tossed in that's in Korean or whatever the language of South Korea is.
Oh, they didn't dub the singing? Do they have English voices and then they switch to Korean when they're singing? I fucking hate this.
Only for like 20% of the song. The rest of the time,
look,
it's in English.
like, this is a huge pet peeve of mine. If you're gonna dub anime, K-drama, anything that's in another language into English, dub the fucking singing too, and change the lyrics. Make the lyrics in English, for fuck's sake. This drives me insane. Like, anytime that I'm watching an anime, I watch anime dubbed all the time. Fuck you, I don't care. I have ADD, and I'm usually crocheting at the same time, so I want to hear the words in the language that I speak. And then it'll be like, hello, I am voice actress for the female character, and now I'm going to start singing. And then an incredibly different voice starts singing Japanese at me, and I'm like, oh my fucking God. And it's worse when it's like a show that is like very music centric. Like the character is an idol, or like singing is supposed to be a big part of their personality. And I'm like, you didn't dub the fucking singing? What? Ah! I'm like, oh, we'll work in English. We'll make it work in English. That's literally your job.
There are ways to make those songs work in English. I just heard about a week ago, there's a VTuber named Amelie. Don't know if either of you heard of her, but
it's like a whole,
yes, I have.
A whole YouTube genre of people making covers of anime songs and making the lyrics in English.
She did a cover some time ago, but I just discovered it a week ago. She did a cover of the intro for Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and it freaking jams. Like she wrote the English lyrics, and the thing is, if you compare what she wrote to like the translated Japanese lyrics, she captures the spirit of the Japanese lyric without it being a direct translation.
And I feel like that is an art that should be part of localizing. In that, like, I know it's a huge fucking debate in anime culture of like translation versus localization, and I'm like, no, it needs to be localized, like to the point. Like, obviously, I want to learn a lot about Japanese culture. Most of my favorite anime are like very, very Japanese, especially the ones that are like horror adjacent or horror stuff, because it's all like Japanese spirits, Japanese ghost stories, Japanese religion. Like, keep all of that. Yes, absolutely. But at the same time, like when it's like an idiom or like a slang or something, you got to find the thing that is going to cause the same reaction or depict the same emotion in English, you know? And like, that is what localizing is, and it's a really it can be difficult for sure, but I think that the best dubs definitely pull it off. Speaking of great dubs, Dan has an amazing dub. I love it. They are adding in all these little silly like jokes and stuff because they were in the Japanese, but it wouldn't translate. And like, that's the other thing. I generally prefer animes that are comedies or have jokes in them to listen to it in English, because usually they will go farther in localizing the humor and make it, work. They should, if it's, a good localization. But yeah, Dan's great. New season's out. I don't get weirded out by the first episode. There is a little bit of some handsy underage girl in her underwear, but you know what? We're just gonna look past that. This show is an equal opportunity objectifier. I will say, for every time that a girl ends up in her undies, a dude does too, for the most part. And we just got introduced to a character who is so powerful, he kicked off his own pants and obliterated them, and is now running around in his tidy whities with his full abs on display. I'm like, yeah, thumbs up.
Not selling this very well,
dude. What? I would say it's crazy and fun, and it's actually got a really heartwarming like romance story at the center, and it's very friendship pilled, but it's also just like really zany. It's all about like aliens and cryptids and yokai and like anything that you could read about in like the Weekly World News. It's real. It's happening, and these kids got to deal with it.
That anime has won awards. I'm like pretty sure. Like it's
animated,
a big thing.
So good. Oh my God. Like, oh, it's fantastic. But if you want something animated really well, but kind of fucking creeping me out in the best way, there's this new anime called The Summer Hikaru Died. It's on Netflix. It's only got 2 episodes out so far. It's coming out every Saturday, and I'm fucking hooked right now. It's there. There's this genre I want to call like cicada horror, which is horror that takes place in the Japanese summer in the countryside, where everything is bright and beautiful, and like the cicadas are singing, the kids are riding their bikes out through the rice fields. It's absolutely picturesque, and there is something deeply wrong and dark under the surface going on. And like, I don't want to say anything else about it.
Yep.
It's so good so far. And I've only seen 2 episodes, and I'm like, oh, I'm in, baby. The other one I recommend from that genre is the Higurashi series, which literally Higurashi no Naku Koro ni means when the cicadas cry. So it's very similar. But that one is it's slightly a spoiler. That was kind of a time loop anime. But that just imagine the kind of horrible scenarios that you could end up in if you're stuck in a time loop, and you gotta you don't have to survive the situation to get out of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon,
Yes.
in about 3 minutes or less, convince Megan and I why we should watch K-pop Demon Hunters.
Wow, I get 3 minutes after Megan's 20-minute rant about her various anime impressions.
I try to keep the show to an hour. I'm sorry.
I see where the favoritism lies. Yeah, I get it.
Because I have varied taste. That's good.
K-pop Demon Hunters, which, by the way, it's not something that originally came out in South Korea that was redubbed for English audiences. It was developed by Sony Pictures in the US. So the animation is, it does get a bit over-exaggerated and, in 3D, which can have a bit of an uncanny valley, but it's incredibly charming. The music is catchy as all hell. It is, from what I understand, I know very little about any of the culture surrounding this. It was done entirely with Korean or Korean American creatives and actors and actresses. So it's pretty faithful to the roots of the culture, as I understand it. Again, I'm a white ass kid from Texas. What the hell do I know about any of this? It's got a very compelling plot. Like I said, the music is catchy as hell. It's the only K-pop I've ever listened to that I actually enjoyed. I'll be straight up honest about that. And I just had a really great time watching it, and I think everyone should give it a try. And it's got a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that says something.
All right. I will use the remaining minute and change to tell people simply this. Ladies and gentlemen, I used to work at a comic book store. I know a thing or two about comics. I've read quite a few comics in my day. I watched quite a few movies about comic book characters. Go see Superman, please.
Yeah.
It is not, I'm going to tell you this. It is not going to be the best movie in the world. It's not even going to be the best Superman movie in the world, because I still think Christopher Reeve cannot ever be topped in the first movie. That being said, this new Superman movie by James Gunn is the most fucking fun I've had watching a Superman movie in years. And I mean that. It is a fun movie. It is by no means perfect. Yes, it has plot holes, but man, it is a fun summer comic movie, and I feel like I haven't been to a fun summer comic movie since freaking Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, which are fun in an entirely different way. Fun if you like watching being brought to the brink of doom and stuff, and then coming from behind. But Superman's good. 11 out of 10. It honestly exceeded all the expectations I had for it. Go see it if you have any interest in comic book stuff. And there is some language, but it's probably one of the more family-friendly comic book movies I have also seen in a while as well. So, yeah. There's my push to you guys.
I'm very curious, because I really like James Gunn, and I really liked his previous.
It is a James Gunn movie. It has James Gunn DNA written all over it. If you like Guardians of the Galaxy and that kind of humor and banter and stuff, you will get a lot of that in Superman.
All right, I'm down.
Yeah,
Mostly,
I was already planning on seeing it anyway. It's just a matter of trying to find the time.
yeah. My big problem with the past Superman movies was just they were so fucking dour. Oh my god.
This one, without spoiling everything, as much as those were dark and dour, this one is very much about hope, and not just because the S stands for hope or where like that. But this, it is a 180 in tone.
I feel so bad for Henry Cavill. Like, he is a genuinely talented actor, and he was fucking perfect for Superman, and they fumbled him so hard. He's been perfect for so many roles, like, I've fumbled so hard, and I'm like, he's always great in them with the material he's given, and it's just like, they just fuck The Witcher and Superman. It's like, those were both perfect for him, and they both got fumbled outside of his control, and I really hope his Warhammer shit turns out as awesome as it can be. And, like, please don't fumble yourself, Henry. I believe in you.
That's going to do it, I think, for episode 70. Like I said, 71 will be roughly a month from now, probably a week after the patch has been out, so we can talk about some of our post-patch experiences, at least story stuff and such. Until then, Megan, where can people find you?
I am Cat Mom Megan. That's all one word. Megan is spelled Meagan. Just about everywhere. Blue Sky, TikTok, the Instagram now, even Tumblr, especially. And you can find my webtoon by going to webtoons.com and either searching for Cat Mom Megan or Sweet Mercy is what it's called. I also have a link to it from just about everywhere else. I've tried to link back to it. So if you like spooky things and the doomed sapphic yearning, there you go. That's what it is.
Brandon, how can people find you?
I am the BMAT pretty much everywhere except Twitter. I mean, I'm the BMAT on there too. I just don't actively participate in that shithole.
Oh, yeah, shit.
THEBMATT. You can find my writings, which are mostly D&D centric, although I'm starting to put some more Pathfinder 2 related content on there. yourquestlogisfull.wordpress.com. And you can catch me along with these other two crazy people on +5 to hit. We're recording another episode tomorrow, and I'm super excited.
I'm pretty excited too, especially for all the arachnophobia it's going to instill in people.
Okay, I can't see it. It's not real. It can't get me.
That's all the context we'll give you for that. As far as me, you can contact me through the show's Blue Sky, which is at A Podcast Reborn on Blue Sky. We're part of Bonus Roll Productions, and the theme music, as always, is provided by Husky by the Geek. I'll include a link to his YouTube channel in the show notes. Of course, the music from him, anything that's derivative of Final Fantasy XIV music you hear on this podcast, belongs to Square Enix. No copyright infringement is intended. That will do it for this episode. Until next time, for Megan, for Brandon, and of course for Butterscotch and Bonbon, this is Brian Black. Till next time, may your loot rolls be high, your glamour fantastic, and your duties always complete. Brandon?
We're gonna do another take on a question I've asked you guys before. Why do the Eden Raid primals look so different from their source counterparts?
Why?
Because they were just a first draft.
Yes.
Less setup is better.
Less is more. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.